In this video I'm going to show you how to make the half Claremont motif. So in this video I'm going to show you how to do the half motif, the rectangle motif. So we're going to start with a chain 4, and then we're going to join in the first chain to form a ring. Then we're going to chain 4, and this counts as 1 double crochet and a chain 1 space. Next we're going to put a double crochet in the ring, we're going to chain 1 and double crochet. So we want to do that for a total of 6 times, so that we end up with 6 chain 1 spaces and 7 double crochets, with the first chain counting as a double. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we're making half the motif, so there's 12 petals, so we need to make room for 6 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Round 2. Going to make a chain of 4. This counts as 1 double crochet and a chain 1 space. In the next stitch we're going to do a 3 double crochet cluster. So should be familiar with this, but I'll go over it again. Yarn over into the space, pull up a loop. You've got 3, yarn over, draw off 2. Don't finish off the double crochet but start another one. Yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw off 2. Now you've got 3. One more, yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw off 2. Now you've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, draw off all 4. In between each petal we have chain 2 space. Next we're going to make another 3 double crochet cluster. So same again, yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw off 2. And again, yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw off 2. And again, yarn over into the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw off 2. 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, draw off all 4. Chain 2. Let's make another 4 like that. So I'm just making the 6th and last cluster stitch for this half motif. Chain 1 and then double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. So this because we're working on the wrong side, so you might have to flip it over just to spot where that 3rd chain is, and it is there, so double crochet into there. Next up, for round 3, I'm going to chain 4, turn the work, and then we're going to double crochet into the top of this cluster stitch. So if you remember looking on the right side, the top of the cluster stitch is actually that slightly baggy stitch. So remember, on the wrong side of the work, instead of it being over to the right of the stitch, that is now over to the left, because we're working in the back. Chain 1, double crochet in the space, chain 1, double crochet in the top of the cluster stitch. So it's not, apart from crocheting part of the motif and crocheting into the wrong side, it should be quite intuitive, because by this point you've probably made an awful lot of the other motifs, the full motifs. Coming up to the last cluster, chain 1, and now we need to double crochet into the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 3 from the previous round. So 1, 2, 3, this one's actually somehow I've managed to twist that round, but it should be okay. So at the end of this round you should have 2 counting that chain 3 as a chain 4 is at 1 stitch. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 double crochets. Now ready for round 4, and this is exactly the same as round 4 on the full motif, except with chain 1, turn the work, single crochet into the top of the first stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the chain space, 1 single into the double, 2 into the chain space. So I'm going to go around doing that, and I'll meet you back at the start, or end as it is in this case, round row even. So I'm just coming to the last section, which if you remember was a chain 4 from the previous round, which counts as a chain, as a space, and then a double crochet stitch. So we're going to put 2 double crochets into there, sorry, 2 single crochets into there, and then we're going to single crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook, and this time it's quite easy to see. 1, 2, 3 single crochet into there. Let's start round 5. We're going to chain 1, we're going to single crochet into the same spot, then we're going to chain 3, we're going to skip 2 stitches and single crochet into the next. So remember, you're working on the wrong side, so if you find it difficult reading the stitches, you can just tilt them forward just to make sure you're going in the right spot. Chain 3 and make an extended single crochet, chain 3, and now make the corner. So skip 2, and this is again the same as for the full motif. You're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, treble crochet in the same stitch, chain 2, treble in the same stitch, chain 1, double in the same stitch. That's the corner finished. Chain 3, skip 2, extended single crochet, chain 3, skip 2, normal single crochet, chain 3, skip 2, single crochet, chain 3, skip 2, single crochet, chain 3, extended single crochet, skip 2 as well, chain 3, now make another corner, skip 2, double, chain 1, treble, chain 2, treble. Oh no, I messed that up. Treble, chain 1, double, chain 3, skip 2, extended single crochet, chain 3, skip 2, single crochet, chain 3 into the last stitch, which was the very first stitch of the previous round, single crochet, and fasten off. So should look something like this. You should have 1, 2, 3 chain 3 spaces at the on the shorter sides, and then the long side should just be exactly the same as the full motif. So you've got 6 chain 3 spaces and then 2 chain spaces in each corner. I'm now going to show you how to join the half motif. as you make it onto the main body of your work, as I've done here with the 3 halves. So the first thing you need to do is make the half motif as per the instructions up to round 4. I'm going to join from right to left. I'm going to join one motif here, second motif here, third motif here. So let's start off in pattern, chain 1 and 1 single crochet into the first stitch. Then I'm going to chain 3, because if you think about it, I'm joining it here, so I need to make one side before I join at the first corner. So I'm going to carry on in pattern, chain 3, skip 2 stitches, single crochet, chain 3, skip 2 stitches and an extended single crochet, chain 3 and start a corner, double crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1 and join with a slip stitch into this first corner. So remember, when we're joining with a slip stitch, we're just going into the chain 2 space, the hook's going from the top of the work from the right side through to the wrong side, and then to slip stitch we're just going to grab the yarn and put up a loop. Then we're going to chain 1, then we're going to finish this corner, which is 1 treble, chain 1 and a double. So next, the joins actually are exactly the same as when we were joining the main motifs. So from this point on you should be pretty familiar with what we're doing. So we're going to chain 1, join with a slip stitch into the next chain 3 space of this adjacent motif, chain 1, skip 2, extended single crochet, chain 1, join with a slip stitch into the next adjacent chain 3 space, chain 1, skip 2, single crochet, join, chain 1, join in the next chain 3 space, chain 1, 1, 2, skip 2 and into the next single crochet put a single crochet, chain 1, join with a slip stitch in the next chain 3 space, chain 1, skip 2, single crochet, chain 1, join with a slip stitch in the next chain 3 space, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, extended single crochet, chain 1, slip stitch into the chain 3 space, chain 1, and now we're going to make another corner. So skip 2 stitches, double crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1. This slip stitch join is taking place in a spot where we have previously joined, so that means we find the legs of the slip stitch join and we go from right to left through those legs, join with the slip stitch, chain 1, treble crochet back into the same spot, chain 1, double crochet into the same spot, and then going to finish off this side. 1, 2, 3 chains, skip 2, extended single, chain 3, skip 2, single crochet, chain 3, skip 2, single crochet in the last stitch, pull the tail end through to fasten off. I'd already cut that because I had already made this once to do the photo tutorial. And so here you can see I've joined this first half motif just along one side here. Now I'm going to move on to the second motif, and we follow the same principles in that we're going to make the half motif up to round 4. So I've got motif, the second half motif made up to round 4. I'm going to chain 1, turn the work, and 1 single crochet in the first stitch. Then because I'm joining it here, I'm obviously going to have to join along this side and along that edge. So we are going to do it. We're just going to join exactly the same way. We're going to chain 1 and then join with a slip stitch into the first chain 3 space of this half motif. So don't worry too much. 1, 2, skip 2, single crochet. Don't worry too much about where you've got a single crochet here and then like a little gap, because we can fix that, especially if you're making a sleeve or a hem that's going to have ribbing on. It doesn't matter if we actually lose that gap. If we want it to stay flat and we're going to put another bit of border on there, we don't really need to worry about that either. And that's the beauty of having these pieces that are quite lacy. Once we put the border on, having a small hole there isn't really going to look out of place. So I'm going to carry on with the chain 3 joins like we've been doing before. So we chain 1, we slip stitch into the adjacent chain 3 space, then we chain 1, and then we do whatever the required stitches. Skip 2, in this case extended single crochet, chain 1, slip stitch in chain 3 space, chain 1, make a corner, double crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1. This is the same kind of corner join as you've been doing all along. We're just going to find that original slip stitch which should have formed like a bit of a ring, and we're going to go through the middle of that slip stitch, chain 1, treble into the corner, chain 1, double, chain 1, and then we're going to join all the way along here in the chain 3 sequence. So I've done a chain 1, I'm going to slip stitch into the next adjacent chain 3 space, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, extended single crochet, chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, skip 2, single crochet, chain 1, slip stitch into the next chain 3 space, chain 1, skip 2, single crochet, chain 1, slip stitch into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, skip 2, single crochet. You know what you're doing by now. So I'm just going to go ahead and carry on with this half motif in exactly the same way as we did the first one. Slip stitch in the corner, in the slip stitch in the shared slip stitch of the joined motifs from the main part of the work, chain 1, treble, chain 1, double, and now this bit hasn't got a join because it's just this edge here. So we go back into pattern, chain 3, skip 2 stitches, extended single crochet, chain 3, skip 2, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, cut the yarn, pull the tail end through to fasten off. And here we are, we've put the second motif in place. And the third motif is actually done in exactly the same way. So you're going to make the motif up to round 4, and then join the same way as you've just joined motif number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll see you back in a minute. So here we are. I have now finished by joining this third half motif.